Hello everybody, welcome. We are doing the daily collective read for today, Sunday, January 8th. I'm the Gray Strega. What do we have coming through for us today? Can I please get 5 cards to start? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I get one more card? Well, we've got movement. On the bright side, we've got movement based on where we saw ourselves yesterday. So it's going to be dramatic. It's going to be dramatic is what I'm going to say based on the cards that I'm seeing here. First card coming out for today's daily read is the Two of Cups in its reversal. A lot of focus today on some partnerships that are either broken or have broken. This could require some confrontation around these. This could also just require a lot of consideration and thought towards any of these partnerships in your life that are not necessarily where you hope or desire them to be, or just a lot of thinking about how to move forward. I'm saying how to move forward because the next card we are seeing around this is the Two of Wands. Now, this does imagine when we see the Two of Wands, this is looking at the situations and either making some determinations on how to move forward to try to correct or amend these partnerships that are broken, or moving forward and considering where to go from here. This can also be an indication right now of the fact that you may be receiving some digital communication as it relates to these partnerships or communications, or that you're going to be seeing some things online as it relates to these broken partnerships, due to the fact that I often see this card come up when digital matters are at play. The next card we are seeing, and this is the center card for today, is the Page of Pentacles. And I like seeing this because this is a bit of a shift from what we're seeing around those broken partnerships or that energy. What we're really seeing here is simultaneous to this contemplation and consideration of those partnerships, we do see new offers and opportunities coming towards you. This is going to be something tangible, something that is going to have some kind of change or effect on your life in the practical space. We like seeing this because this is taking some things out of the ether and actually giving you something that you can hold in your hand. This often is around plans, some kind of financial opportunity, some kind of offer of communication, some courtesy that is given. This could have something to do with these broken partnerships as well, something coming forward as it relates to them. Not necessarily though, because this does have a lot of new energy attached to it. One thing I like to see here though is we are getting a Tower in its reversal. And what this is really saying is that even in the face of having to review or make some determinations or even kind of deal with the fallout of some partnerships in your life right now that are fracturing or have come apart, you do see that there is this healing aspect that is coming through around these situations and scenarios right now. That there is something that you're able to look at these things that are happening, and even if they might not have come out as positive at some point, you're now able to look at a bad situation or scenario that occurred in the past and understand why it was for the best. Being able to see why some big problem or big setback actually was in your best interest and for your highest self is the message that's really coming through, even in the midst of having to address or acknowledge a partnership that is not where it should be. All of this is leading to the final card for the 5 spread, and that is a card I love to end the 5 card spread on, which is the Magician, which is you taking back your power and you moving forward and making the determinations right now as to how you're going to move forward, understanding that this is a reclamation of yourself and your own ability to make and adjust and change things, even in the wake of some things breaking down around you. Now, we're going to get some clarity between these cards. Getting clarity first between this Two of Cups reversed. So focus on some partnerships in your life or concentration that have broken. This could even be some matters around these issues occurring today, and digital communication, or really looking around and deciding where you're going to go from here in the face of where you find yourself. We have, can I please get one card to clarify? Queen of Swords in its reversal. Now, this is going to hit a little differently depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy. Now, if you align to masculine energy, this is going to be the feminine energy around you today, being very vulnerable, being very open, being very expressive. This is also a sign that if you are trying to reach out to a feminine energy, today might be a good day, because some of those boundaries that they may have put up around you are going to be lowered a bit. Now, for the feminine energy, this is something about this situation or scenario revolving around this broken connection has your heart space feeling very open. You are feeling very vulnerable, so just keep that in mind as you go forward today, particularly if you're considering how your options, or if there's digital communication at play, as is indicated by the potentially by the Two of Wands here. Continuing on with this read, getting clarity right now between the Two of Wands and this Page of Pentacles energy. So really considering your options, looking ahead, looking out, trying to make determinations on what you're going to do from this point on, even potentially digital communications around such, and seeking or putting out there, because this could be yourself, or this could be reflected by you or given to you, these offers, these opportunities, finding these new avenues of connection, finding these new tangible things that you can hold in your hand, potentially to get your mind off of some of those broken connections. We have, can I get one card to clarify, please? We've got three. And I actually think we've got 1, 2, 3. So that's how, yep, we've got all three coming out here. That's exactly what we need. Thank you. We have, and I like this a lot, Death in its reversal. And this is really saying to us that there is a cycle around you that is coming to a completion point, that something is, rest assured, if you have been going through a very painful transition, this is a sign that you are starting to reach the conclusion of that transition. Things typically start to get easier at this point. At the drawing of this, you're starting to understand that a cycle is closing out so that a new one can begin. And this is why you're able to kind of start to look ahead of you, to really consider your options. And this is something we have not seen in the cards for the last few weeks. We've seen kind of a digging in of the heels in a situation or circumstance, but this is now this moment that we're seeing that some movement forward is actually happening. Some acceptance of what is occurring is allowed, and this is what is giving you this opportunity to start to scan out and to decide where you're going to move from this point on. Getting clarity right now between the Page of Pentacles, so the new offers and the new opportunities that are now being presented to you, and the Tower reversed energy. So starting to understand why things had to go the way that they did, and seeing that in the way, even something bad that happened was in your service to your highest self, that is allowing you these new opportunities, that is allowing you these new things that are coming in for you. We have the Two of Swords in its reversal. So making decisions, making determinations that are finally allowing you to move forward, and trusting your intuition to guide you in this manner. This is something that, this is a card that we have seen and it's upright for quite some time. So this is some circumstance or scenario that you may have been holding your judgment or holding your action upon. But rest assured, today is going to be the day that you're going to be able to say to yourself, I don't need to hold my action anymore. I have seen everything I need to see. And this is why you may actually be coming forward with some sort of offer, be it communication, be it something tangible that can be held, because you are now understanding the full breadth of something that has occurred to you that was very painful and difficult. Getting clarity right now between this Tower reversed energy, so this ability to look at something painful that occurred and understand why it had to go the way that it had to go, and this desire and ability to move forward from here, to build anew, to create new beginnings, to start again, to understand the power that you have in creating the world and the life that you want, even in the midst of the wreckage of something that did not work out the way that you had hoped. We have the Ace of Swords in its reversal. So this idea of success through surrender, surrendering to the circumstances that you find yourself within, but understanding that that surrender is a moment of achievement and victory as opposed to one of loss. Continuing to clarify and drill down in terms of these cards, getting clarity right now around this Queen of Swords energy. So for the feminine, this feeling of feeling very vulnerable today, feeling very exposed, but also, again, much like the Ace of Swords, finding strength in that moment of vulnerability. For masculines, experiencing the fact that the feminine energy is in a place that they are very open, very receptive, very vulnerable. And also clarifying between this energy of a cycle coming to a completion point. We have, can I please get one card to clarify? We will use the top card here. Whoops. All right, we're going to use both cards because we've got two cards coming through right now that popped up. We have the Hermit blended with the Empress in her reversal. So this is speaking of a period of isolation that you may still be encountering or experiencing, particularly for the feminine, because the feminine is finding themselves not only in a place of feeling highly vulnerable, but feeling at a moment where they're feeling a void in their heart space, not necessarily feeling like they're in a place where they're able to accept love freely and willingly right now. For masculine, this is marking a period of time of isolation where they are feeling that they are without contact from their Empress energy, and that their Empress energy is not receptive to them. And this is also leading to a moment of isolation, even in the midst of some, and this speaks a lot towards this Two of Cups in reversal that we find, this broken partnership. Continuing to get clarity right now between the Death card in its reversal. So this drawing down of a cycle, things starting to feel a little easier, starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel as it relates to some transformation or change that is occurring around you right now. And this ability or this drive to start to move forward, to act, to take some actual steps out of this situation or circumstance that you find yourself in. This healing from the Tower in its reversal. Can I please get one card to clarify between these 2 points? Whoop, that's the one. We have a 10 of Cups in its reversal. So this is this action that we see, this drawing out of a cycle, this conclusion energy is moving. You're choosing to move forward because you're looking at a circumstance and scenario, and you're just not having a lot of hope that there is a happy outcome in something that you were hoping for. This would clarify a lot of that Death card in the Tower in reverse that we saw in the first part of the 5-card spread. Now, understanding that this is an idea that there's some situation right now that you have pretty much lost hope on, that you've given up the fact that there is some kind of hopeful outcome in that situation and scenario. And that is why you're making this choice to move forward right now in the face of what can feel like some sadness, because this is not necessarily the happiest of cards. And there's a lot of grief that needs to be born through as you experience the fact that there was a better outcome or a better hope that you had as it relates to what this future scenario might look like. Or there is a lot of attention to the fact that there is some circumstance or scenario in your life right now that does not seem to be able to give you any indication that it will give you the future that you should truly hope for. But this is also what is driving you forward right now into action, as indicated by the Two of Swords in its reversal. Now, clarifying between the Two of Swords in its reversal, so this need to act, following your instinct, allowing your intuition to lead you to make the decisions and to take the steps that you need to take as you go forward right now. And this act of surrender, and this could be surrendering to the realities of a situation, particularly around this Tower reversed right now, particularly around these future outcomes that don't feel like they are very achievable right now. Can I please get one card to clarify? Oh, this one doesn't want to come out. Oh, we've got 2 cards to clarify. more looking out, looking into the future, trying to make new decisions. This is the moment that you're starting to move forward from the circumstance. You're understanding that the time has come to make a choice. You're kind of seeing the writing on the wall. You're trying to find the way to move forward, given the fact that, given the circumstances that you're seeing, you're not seeing an outcome that you find ideal or happy, or clearly not happy, because we've got this 10 of Cups in its reversal. But this feeling, this acceptance, this moment of vulnerability, particularly for the feminine, is what is giving you the ability to move forward right now. Accepting what you feel that spirit is telling you, what you feel your intuition is guiding you to, and that is to move forward and to start to decide how you're going to move on from here. Continuing to get clarity right now, getting clarity between this this Hermit and its upright combined with the Empress in its reversal. So for masculine, this feeling of being isolated from a love interest or the center of their love and affection. For feminine, isolating oneself right now because you're feeling very kind of not in a loving space or in an environment right now where you're being seen or appreciated, and this is what's causing you to move into isolation, as well as the clarifying between that and the determination or looking at a future outcome and not seeing a positive possible outcome around some future planning or hope. There is a lot of kind of grieving in these two cards. Can I please get one card to clarify? Whoop! We've got two cards to clarify, but yes. And this is the clarity of the masculine around this, because we also had the feminine before. So while the feminine is isolating oneself because they are feeling they are not being seen or appreciated, masculine is not moving forward on offers right now because they're healing their heart space, because they're heartbroken and they're grieving and they're nursing their own wounds as it relates to the situation and scenario. Feminine, this is going to feel like the heartache of not feeling your masculine coming forward the way that you had hoped or intended, and trying to deal with the grief of that experience as you go through it. Thank you so much for the gifts. So, I mean, in a way, we are seeing that masculine and feminine are very much reflecting one another right now, just in different, not even in that very different ways. The feminine is going into isolation. The masculine is retreating on their offers. Both are in a place of heartache. Just these could basically be the same cards, just in different iterations. I mean, they're saying the same thing. It's very interesting, to be honest. Continuing to get clarity between this feelings of disappointment or sadness around some future scenario that one had hoped would happen that is now starting to feel like less and less of a possibility. But using this opportunity to really move, like see the writing on the wall, use your intuition, allow spirit to guide you as you move forward from this place of, let's be honest, not necessarily total happiness, but acceptance, because we do see that Ace of Swords in its reversal. Can I please get one card to clarify? We've got two again. For masculine, for feminine and masculine, this is going to be trying to find the happiness and trying to find the joy that can be found in this situation. For masculines, unfortunately, we see here that their guard is down, and I will also point out that masculine and feminine are actually now reflecting themselves, because we also have the counterpart here of the Queen of Swords in its reversal. Masculine is also in their King of Swords in its reversal. So this is saying to us that both are feeling extremely vulnerable. Both are feeling their guard are down. And both are, masculine specifically, may be turning towards friends and other parties to try to make themselves feel better. For feminine, this is more a trying to find community, trying to find those that they can be around to make them feel better in the wake of feeling like their masculine has effectively not come forward to protect or defend them in the way that they would have hoped or ideally liked. For For masculine, this is potentially turning towards those same potential third parties, or also other people around them that they can find joy and happiness with, to try to deal with the fact that they are finding themselves in such a weak and vulnerable space. Clarifying between the final card for this today's spread, all around very much around masculine, so heavy consideration toward masculine energy today. Masculine being literally all in reversed swords, so just this feeling of loss and defeat permeating the masculine's headspace, and as such being in a wounded space and potentially trying to find some relief around others around them that may bring them more happiness. For feminine, doing the same, but because of a masculine they feel is not coming forward the way they had ideally hoped or anticipated. Can I please get one card to clarify for the final card for today's spread? I'm a little scared to find out what it is. It's not a very happy read, is it? The final card for today's spread is, but here's the thing. Thank goodness. Listen, this is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? So the Wheel of Fortune says there needs to be a moment of consideration that masculine and feminine energies both need to experience, understanding that these are not based on gender, but what you feel aligned to. That says that this is a moment in a cycle, and that these moments are given to shift, and that both masculine and feminine, while they are feeling a deep sense of loss and defeat right now, are clearly reflecting each other. They're both in the same space, which is why neither is coming forward, which is why the partnership or the connections feel like they are broken, because everybody is in a very defeated feeling right now. But also understanding right now that the reason that this feeling is occurring, though, is that there is something is fated here. Something is meant to be a certain way. And it's this moment, what's really happening right now is this moment that both masculine and feminine are falling into the construct of fate's plan and allowing themselves to try to move in the direction that fate is trying to lead them in, to allow things to happen as they are meant to be, to allow their intuition to guide them, understanding that what is meant to be will be, and that by simply following their intuition and their instinct, they're going to be able to find the place that is best for them and meant to give them the most solace and the most relief, and is basically on their fated path. So what a beautiful reading that we have today. Yes, there is some sadness. Yes, there is some contemplation today, but today is really going to be a deep day of contemplation and review and a determination on what that cycle looks like as it moves forward, trusting that fate is going to guide everyone in the steps that it is meant to guide them into. Bottom of the deck on this reading for today is, listen, this has to do, what's really happening right now is even this experience of feeling this sense of loss, it's really helping people understand exactly what they want. It's helping this momentary feeling of loss, this momentary feeling of lack, is helping to deeper clarify to those around you and everyone right now, what it is they truly want and what they truly need, and what feels like an empty hole when they do not have it, right? This is the kind of moment that you're going to be able to experience, that you understand is showing you what direction you need to go into moving from this space. And I know that today may feel, it's going to be a real heart wrencher today. I feel like today is going to feel very emotional for a lot of people, but there's a lot of power in that act of surrender, particularly keeping in mind that we're coming out of a full moon in Cancer, which is a very emotional full moon. So allowing this to be this kind of heart-opening moment and accepting that this feeling of this feeling that you're feeling today, particularly this feeling of loss, this feeling of surrender, this feeling of acceptance, this feeling of allowing oneself to truly embrace one's own emotionality, is going to be important, because it's going to give you the tools and the understanding you need to make the determinations as you go forward from here. That is the Daily Collective read for today. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, gracestrega.com. Please keep in mind, when you book a private reading, it is a two-step process. You have to pay for the reading and you have to book the reading. If you don't do both, we can't have the reading. Also keep in mind that if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off all of my services. Just be sure to mention my TikTok subscriber ID when you go to pay. Thank you so much for being here with me on the Daily Collective Read, and I will be back to do this again tomorrow.